Welcome back, guys. I hope you enjoyed the intro of today's video. Of course, it was all taken of the brand new DJI FPV drone. And right now I'm having a blast flying with it, discovering new things about it. And I decided to put this video together, share a couple of clips that I recorded recently with this drone, and also share the settings that I use for creating those cinematic shots with this drone. Although there aren't that many settings to change inside the goggles themselves, you can massively change your overall flying experience by tweaking some settings just a little bit, and that will really change the behavior of the drone. So I hope you enjoyed today's video. So I have all the settings right here, and I'll use my iPad as a little cheat sheet. So let's start with the camera settings first. So in order to activate 4K 60 frames per second on this drone, you have to set the transmission quality to high quality. If you set it to low latency, you won't have 4K 60 frames per second, you only have 1080p, which is a huge bummer because sometimes you need less latency I would prefer to have less latency and record 4K 60, but I guess that's not an option. So if you want to record in 4K 60 frames per second, you have to set your transmission quality to high quality. Then set your resolution to 4K 60 or 4K 50 if that's something that you prefer. And then what you need to do is go to advanced camera settings and then turn on a couple of those modes. So auto record on takeoff, I turn that on because I want to record every single time I fly. You never know what you're going to see. You never know what you're going to capture with the camera. So I prefer to always record, and if I don't need the video afterwards, I can just delete it. But I prefer to have videos both taken from my goggles and also from my drone. Sometimes if something happens to your drone, you can always go back inside the goggles and see the DVR recording from the goggles. So I advise you to record on takeoff, both on the aircraft and also on the goggles themselves. Then we have EIS, which basically is electronic image stabilization, meaning rock steady. You need to turn that on if you want to have stable footage, otherwise it will be very shaky. That's a mistake I did, not turning it on my very first flight, and I was a little bit disappointed. Then I noticed that it was just not stabilized, so yeah, I'm very smart, what can I say? The next option we have is distortion correction, and this is something that many people complain about. If you don't turn this feature on, you will see some props inside the video that you record on the drone. I don't like having the props inside the video, of course. However, I prefer to see my props when I fly. So this is a very clever feature that they have enabled. You can enable the distortion correction only for your aircraft or only for your goggles. I have set it to aircraft only, meaning that the footage that gets recorded on the drone itself will not have my props in view. It will be a little bit narrower. However, inside my goggles, I can see everything when I fly, and this really helps you to not crash sometimes if you don't see a little branch or something else that gets in your way. You want to see everything in your goggles. So it's better to set it to aircraft only. That's what I've decided to do for myself. As for the next one, which is image roll correction, I set it to off because it just crops in too much and you have a really narrow field of view, which I don't like because sometimes it just gets too narrow. So for me, the image roll correction is not a setting that needs to be on. However, feel free to experiment depending on what you want to capture, how you want to fly, and what fits your flying style the most. Next, we have video encoding format. I set that to H.265. It's easier for me to work with an H.265 video encoding format on my computer when I edit. And then we have color. Here we have normal or d-cinelike. If you know me, you know that I always prefer the flat color profile so I can have the freedom to color grade my footage. And especially with the smaller sensor size of this drone, you don't have that much freedom to push your colors. So if you record in normal, you're really limiting yourself if you don't have any options to color grade really, because your footage is just baked in, all the information is baked inside the footage. And yeah, grading is not going to happen very nicely on on footage that has been shot on normal. So I prefer to use d-cinelike, color grade my footage afterwards and post myself. And you can see the difference between the flat color profile, which is the raw video, and then my version of it. You really have a lot of freedom to not only grade it so you can make it pop, but also add a little flavor to it. The one that you yourself, the creator, has the freedom to choose and you know, make a little creative style that you want to add to your videos. And finally, we have audio recording, which I set to on. I prefer to have that option instead of not having it, so audio is on. So these are my basic settings for capturing video with the DJI FPV drone. However, I recently received the Freewell ND filters made for this drone specifically. So what else I have been doing lately is I can go to camera parameters, and then I can set the camera mode to manual. If you have ND filters and you want to make your footage a lot more cinematic by introducing some motion blur inside the footage, you can use ND filters and set your camera settings to manual. If you don't have filters, setting it to manual will not really help you, as it will be very, very overexposed, and yeah, you can't compensate for that light if you don't have ND filters. So it's not mandatory to use ND filters. I personally always use ND filters on all of my cameras just because of that motion blur, and I like having it inside my footage. I think it looks a little bit more natural and it just makes the footage looks better compared to not using ND filters. So when I do use ND filters, I set my ISO to the lowest possible, which is 100. I set my shutter speed to 1/120, and that really depends on the lighting. I put the filter that I think it will work best, and I just turn the drone around to see how it's going to cope with the light. And you can see the EV setting that shows you whether the footage has been overexposed or underexposed, and you can compensate with the shutter speed afterwards if you want. For the white balance, I set it to manual, and I mostly use a white balance of 5500 kelvins. This is something that I also do on my GoPros, and for the most part I think 5500 kelvins works best for natural sunny daylight weather conditions. So this is what I use. I want to emphasize once again that you do not have to use ND filters. However, they are very helpful if you want to squeeze a little bit more out of your drone and get some better footage. So if you do decide to invest into ND filters, you can put your camera into manual mode. Otherwise, just set it to auto. The camera will decide for itself how to shoot and how to expose. And you know, that's not ideal in most situations. However, it gets the job done, and you can still achieve amazing results even with the camera set to auto. And finally, I want to talk about the rates, because I've been having some issues with my very first flight when my rates were just, you know, not working too well for my flying style. The sticks were just very sensitive, and I wasn't feeling comfortable flying the drone. I'm sure you saw that in the video. However, after tweaking those settings a little bit, and they are not even the final settings that I will be using, I'm sure I will tweak them a little bit more. Right now, I feel very, very confident with how the drone flies, because it really reminds me of one of my 5-inch or 6-inch quadcopters, the regular FPV quadcopters that I have. It flies very similarly because of how I changed those rates. Massive shout out to Original Dobo for sharing his rates, which I tried out and then I modified a little bit to fit my own style. But I will list my rates in the description, also here on the screen, so you can check them out. And if you're not aware what rates are, it's basically how sensitive your sticks are to your commands. So if you have higher rates, for example, even a small push of the stick will make the drone you know, move a little bit to the side, or depending on which way you push your stick, it will go that way, even with a very, very small amount of force applied to the stick. I personally prefer to use lower rates, because when I fly this drone, I am mostly going for cinematic style of flying. I'm not going to use it for freestyle. So for my type of flying, slower rates actually works better. And now that I've tweaked them, I can finally be a little bit more confident when flying with this drone. But that's pretty much it. These are the settings that I use right now on the DJI FPV drone, and I hope this video has been helpful for you so you can tweak your own settings a little bit in a way that will help you create and achieve better results. If you have enjoyed this video, please do me a favor, hit the like button and subscribe to my channel if you want to see more videos with this drone, as I have quite a long list with video ideas about the DJI FPV drone if I don't crash it before I make them happen. With that being said, guys, thank you so much for watching today's video. I'll see you very soon. Take care and goodbye.